see a hand come out.
Hang on one second. All right, so we're digging down. We're going below a pool bottom. This is an in-ground swimming pool. We do a lot of these. I'm going to be honest. It's not what we prefer to do. My guys would rather, you know, they would rather stick to yard drains. Like, these are high risk, high reward. So what you want to do, this is clay. When you got a man below, you got to be really careful. This whole pool's been pumped out. Last night, throughout the night, there was a pump in here and it removed all the water. There's no water in this pool. What's happening is water's getting under the pool liner. You can see where the pool liner has been bulged. The whole pool liner is coming out. They're getting a new pool liner over this. These pool liners are, you know, $6,500, $8,500. They're expensive. And you can't just keep going through pool liners. So this is a real problem. We run into it a lot. These pools really need to be installed with a pump. And why the guys don't do it, I don't know. But it definitely brings a lot of work our way. So we're going to have a pump system that we're going to drop in here once we get to the proper depth. We're right up against the wall of the pool. Obviously, nobody's walking on this sidewalk. There is a steel wall that this pool's built on, or built from, its foundation, and then there's concrete underneath that steel wall. So there is definitely some do's and don'ts when you do these. But again, this is a high risk, high reward type of install. I don't know who else is doing them. We get a lot of calls for them. We specialize in them. Over the years, we know what to look for. We know what to do. If you're suffering from a pool that has water behind the liner, give us a call if you're in our service area. We can work through the different options that are available to you and find a way to keep that high water table from taking away the joy and fun that comes with owning an in-ground swimming pool. All right, so the guys, they were working for about an hour trying to get that tunnel underneath. They're down low. They're going under the footing that the wall is built on. And we're waiting to hit that pocket of water. We hit the first pocket of water, which was up high. There's a lot of water behind the liner up high. We hit that, but there's another pocket. It's responsible for all the water that's finding its way underneath the bottom, the floor of this liner. This is pumped out. There's no water in this pool. This has all been pumped out, all of it. You got to have patience. You got to have a crew because you're going to be alternating. There's a lot of hand digging. The ground here is so hard. It's so crazy hard. It's like concrete. We're making very little progress. Some of the hardest digging clay that we ever have seen or worked. Our little mini excavator, we're at the max for its reach. What we're going to do is we're going to go down about 6 inches below the bottom of the pool, and then we dug a really deep trench to the far corner, and that's where the pump's going to be. Time and material, machine hours, man hours, and materials. Yeah, you're looking real good. You're looking real good. Yep. Now we just got to reach up in there and try to hit the pocket of water. Oh, brother. Yeah, like Hal's super deep. I'll send you a picture to show you just how deep he is, but I mean he's, yeah, and we're probably halfway, as you know, like going under the pool, or I don't even know, maybe halfway, maybe. Like this is the part that's just, we're chipping away with the shovel, chipping away and chipping away and chipping away, and it's the hardest clay we've ever worked in. It's literally like chipping away concrete. So yeah, if you got a hammer drill with a paddle on it or something, that'd be great. Yeah, I think his hands were full today with the, yeah. I agree. All right, brother. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Yeah. And they come back this way. And they come up there. All right, the guy's been digging all day. They're getting pretty deep. So right now, the guys are about to here, and they're going underneath the steel wall and the cement footing that the wall is on. We're going under it. We're going to be underneath the liner, and we're going to tap right into where this pocket of water has been a problem. All right, we had a team member that was way up in there. When the pocket of water was finally struck, it just burst open, literally just flooded out water, and this water has been running for the last 2 hours. You can see that we have continued flow of water. this homeowner will never ever have water under this liner again. Now we're gonna put a couple pipes down here. We're gonna force a bunch of stone up underneath the pool, small stone. It's gonna have plenty of structural strength. We'll have those pipes flowing all the way to the corner. So we have a lot of fall here, and this is a really deep trench. I mean, it's stupid deep, guys, stupid deep, really deep. So as we get towards the back, we're on really good slope. Look at the water flow. This is just insane. We've got water flowing out of everywhere. We got water flowing out of this trench up here even. You can see it glistening in the sun. This property had huge drainage issues. There was water underneath all the concrete because there's a pocket of stone under the concrete. This is a walkout home, so you got all the water that comes out of the high ground, ends up back here, and there was no way for it to get out. This clay is just trapping in all the water. So we have French drains wrapping all around the pool. You can see the water just pouring in down into this trench at the bottom. I just can't believe for 2 hours that's all we have is just water moving. And we haven't had any rain in a couple weeks. So they couldn't get nobody to fix this problem. They couldn't get anyone to touch this job. And this is what we hear from every single homeowner that we help with a situation like this. Nobody's qualified for it. Nobody that's in the landscape world or in the yard drain world wants to touch a job like this. Nobody. We've been doing a lot of these for many years, many years. So look at this pit. Look at this crazy pit. This is insane. So we got a pump and a bucket down there because all the water ends up here. It's absolutely insane. Deep dig for, you know, something that's kinda in yard drainage. I mean, hey, we're yard drainage guys, and here we are, right? So who else is gonna do this? Not gonna get the DPW to do it. You're not gonna get the Army Corps of Engineers to do it. We're for hire. Plain and simple, we're for hire. So we're going to put a tall riser on this pump. We're going to add a lot of chamber. It's going to be a heck of a system. All right, so we're doing a French drain along the property line. So that's a perimeter French drain. We did a perimeter French drain around the pool yard. Lot of work, big job, big job. A lot of excavation, a lot of pipe, a lot of stone. So these sprinkler valve boxes were full of water. Look at all the water. We've had no rain for 2 weeks, and we've been dealing with 90-degree heat in Michigan, which that is not the norm. Obviously, everywhere we work, there's always an old system that we dig up. You know, it just comes with the territory. So water was trapped in here. All the boxwood died that were in here. We're under the sidewalk right here. We did a core. You guys have seen that many a times. Nothing crazy here. We just got to grab the water. The way a pool deck is done, it is code to have the water run away from the pool. The health department demands that this concrete has pitch away from the pool. Stormwater cannot get into that pool. So all that runoff ends up here, and it was just trapped. So we got clean outs on both ends. You guys know what that's all about. You've seen us do that before. Just so that we have a way in. This was 3.5. This is tight. This is really tight, and this is difficult. And this is labor intense, and it's a lot of work. So the guys went under the sidewalk twice. They went under the walk here too. And they cored right under. We're grabbing up the downspout water too. Right now we're working on a downspout. We'll get all this water taken to the far back corner where it's going to be deposited into our sump pump system. This is all wet, super wet in here. You just want your French drain to be down in the lowest point. What a system. What a system, brother.
Big one.
Yeah, it is. Monster system. Also did a perimeter drain around the shed. So we're going to lift all this water. We're going to lift it up over this berm back here. And then it just goes into this woods. It's just this naturescape. It's never going to be developed. A lot of it is wetlands. You can see what we're dealing with over here. You got big water problems? We're the guys. In Michigan, we are your guys. All right, we got a French drain right down the side of the pool here. And then we have one here. Here's one of our clean outs. You guys know how we do it. We got to clean out with a turf plate. We got to clean out with just the 4-inch plug. Right here, there's kind of this swale right down the center. Right here's a pop-up. Why is there a pop-up? Because we grabbed the downspout and brought it all the way back to the swale. It could just dump here. It'll just percolate into the French drain that's right here. I mean, my guys do such good work, you can't even tell, but here's the French drain, goes around the shed. Right here we got the sand on the fabric. Right here's the cutaway. You can see they got the clips on the pipe. I'm gonna brag on our master electrician. We got Tom over here. Tom and I have been working together since 2004. Man, I'm dating us, ain't I? But in any case, we got to get power for this pool pump. It's basically a pump for the entire yard. We're taking the power from, it's the LED lights for the pool. They don't really require a whole lot of power, so we're able to rob from that. So Tom came a day ahead of time. He put this box in place and did all his plumbing. So today we got this hard piece of rigid pipe. So the fabric will go in next, but I want to show you just how nice this is. You guys are using the fabric pins, and they're over here putting this conduit against the wall, so that's held in place. We have this held in place so that when we go to do our fabric, then we could work with that. And this is going to go all the way, that rigid pipe. That way we never have to worry about this. If anybody accidentally sticks a shovel in the ground and hits it, it's in a steel casing. The wire's in a steel conduit. And then of course we just drop off a cliff right here, and that's how we want it, because it takes a foot of water to trigger the pump float to go on. So you have to have a sump pit that's much deeper than everything else. Everything's got slope on it, so by the time you get here, everything's getting quite deep. And we got trenches coming in from all directions. It's insane is what it is. This is a big project. It's a big job, deep dig. The guy's really been working hard in 90-degree heat. Today's Forecasted to be 96. It's just not normal for Michigan, but we're seeing heat like you guys see in Florida. Except our blood ain't as thin as yours because we don't see this typically. So Francisco's in there cleaning that up where we hit that pocket of water. He's going to try to remove the wall. There was a clay wall there. He wants to get more of that removed just to make sure that nothing's damming the flow of the water. We know we hit the big pocket because this gushed out water, it actually drenched one of our team workers. I mean, completely drenched him. The water came rushing at, soaked him. All right, so Francisco just hit the clay wall and he freed up a lot of the water. It's really hard to even wrap your mind around how much water was under this pool. Pretty good?
Yeah, it's gonna work beautiful this one because we got piston. All this water coming from the piston.
Oh, there's pea stone under it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
This piston around is going to work beautiful. You see, there's still water in the pool because Kevo hit like 1 foot up.
Okay.
And I try to...
No, this is great. Man, we are moving water, guys. We are moving water. Insane. Absolutely insane. So, like, full disclosure, my guys don't like these jobs. Full disclosure. Nobody likes digging under that swimming pool. Nobody. But every time somebody finds us and they know that we can fix it, they tell us about how many contractors they called and talked to and how many people turn them away. And they say we've been looking for years to find somebody that could help us fix this problem. So that's why we have a hard time saying no to people. And I'm being honest, I'm being true, and I'm being genuine. I started French Drain, man, because I just liked helping people. And everybody that works here is the same way. And we have a really hard time saying no. So we'd much rather be just doing 300 feet of French Drain on a big lot somewhere, yard drain, than dealing with this deep dig, crazy deep dig, and going under a pool. Who wants to do that? Nobody wants to do that. But we just have a real hard time turning people away that need the help. This homeowner is going to be able to replace this liner, and then that's it. He's done. His nightmare is over. Him and his family can enjoy their swimming pool. Finally, after years of dealing with this problem where they're having all this water under the liner and the liner's bursting, and these liners are stupid expensive. So all this water is running into the sump pit. You can see we got great slope on our trench. We got a pump inside the trench. We're going to pump all this water up over that berm and get it out of here. All right, so we just turned on the pump, and it's a really good pump that we're using here. This is a no joke pump. This is a trash pump that we're using. Oh, it's just ridiculous how much water that pump will move. So we got that turned on to keep up with this river of water that's coming from out from underneath the pool. And this is not even the big river of water. I wasn't here for the big river of water. And the guy that was in the hole that got hit with that big flow of water was soaked. His boots were soaked. He was completely saturated. All his clothes were soaked. We sent him back to the yard so he can get out of those wet clothes. You can't work in wet boots. You can't. Look at this. Let's look at that. Just insane. Man, the water is just flowing like a river, guys. Stupid. How much water is under that pool? Crazy. So we want to open it up. Francisco, he's taking the care to make sure that there's absolutely nothing damming any water in. Luckily, when they built this pool, they put some pea stone in the bottom, and that's where all this water is laying, is in that bed of pea stone. And you want that. You don't want to just put your liner right directly on the clay. Man, what a... Look at this. What a pocket of water. The things we see, the things that we find ourselves in the middle of, I only probably video 5 out of 100 jobs. There's just no time to do anything more than probably 5% of the jobs. The guys are usually doing 2 jobs a day. Obviously this is a big job, so that's not the case, but it's just really hard to run a business and stay behind these guys with a camera. And even if I could, there's just no way we could possibly keep up with all the editing. So we try to treat you guys to like a mixed, you know, like I haven't done one of these in a long time, so I was like, you know what, let's video it, even though it's not DIY friendly. And most contractors aren't in the right mind to do this. I mean, most contractors, they know their limits, and they're not going to find themselves in the middle of this job. They're just not. And I don't blame them. Stay in your lane, guys, because when you don't stay in your lane, that's when bad things happen. And contractors know when bad things happen, it means something went sideways, and now you're having to pay out big money to fix whatever it was. You don't want to damage this man's pool. If you don't know what you're doing, don't touch a job like this. You know, we have experience with actually building in-ground swimming pools. You know, Sherwood Landscape Construction LLC owns French Drain Man. Look it up. We got a really cool website for our install team. And even though I've retired from the landscape primarily, you can see how when we take yards apart, we have to put them back together again, and we still have to have our team that has the experience for brick pavers and just landscape in general, you know, anything in the yard. Yeah, this thing is flowing like a river. It was flowing for 2 hours before I got here. Francisco sped the flow up a bit, cleaning out that trench under the pool. Man, oh man. I'd be lying to you if I didn't say that this is kind of cool in our world. This is something that we pride ourselves in. We hang our hat on being able to do the jobs nobody else can. So look at the water flowing out from underneath this pool. Just insane, crazy. All right, so the guys are lining all the trench. Francisco's down inside the pit. He climbed out from underneath the pool and just trying to get all the walls pinned. This is a really deep trench, so the guys are working on basically taking a 5-foot fabric. Might be a 6-foot fabric. Yeah, it is a 6-foot fabric. And they're draping it down each side of the trench. So that's how deep we are. It's a really deep dig. And we're really lucky that the clay is like concrete. Even though it was really hard to work and get the excavation done, it's safer this way. It's safer. Believe it or not, this is the safest soil that we've worked in a couple years. It's rare to find clay that's like concrete like this. It's insane. All right, so I want to talk about something right now. So when you're using big pumps, you want 8-ounce fabric in your pump pit. So I never talk about this. I'm going to start talking about this. We sell 8-ounce and we sell 4-ounce fabrics. This right here is heavy. It's expensive. You know, really, really thick. I mean, 8-ounce, because when the pump turns on, the suction is going to be so great that it'll pull sediment right through fabric. So you want to just go heavy. So this is the 8-ounce, guys. We're going to have the pipes feeding the water to the pump, so I'm not worried.
We need that thicker stuff in there.
You can't do this all the time, but you can do this some of the time. We had the homeowner pump this pool out. He pumped this pool out for us. Now, you can't do this all the time. You can't do this with fiberglass pools because they'll pop right out of the ground. You got to keep water in a fiberglass pool. So we pumped it down and we left just a little bit of water, just a very little bit of water in this real deep end where the 2 drains are, because we didn't want those drains to lift. So you got to know pools. You got to know what you're doing. I mean, don't get involved in something like this if you don't understand the way these pools are built. Yeah, stay clear, stay in your lane, guys. But just thought we'd take you along for the ride on one of these because I haven't videoed one. We're used to working in clay and all the different types of clay. And yes, this clay was, this was the hardest clay. Like we joked, who forgot to bring the dynamite was the joke on this job. That's how hard this clay was. The guys are getting some pipe down in the trench, and I will be talking about this. So we put end plugs in the end so that they don't fill with stone. Francisco's putting the end plugs in, and he's getting that pipe up and under the pool. We'll show you guys how we do this. This is really cool how we're gravity draining this one for a little bit. And then it ends up in the sump pit in the corner of the yard that's handling all the yard runoff. So we're going to use little stone. We want to pack this really, really tight underneath the pool. This is really important, guys. We just undermined a footing to the wall of this pool. So we got to pack it with really tight, small stone. So we got 2 pipes in the bottom of the trench, and we're putting stone in now, but we're only putting enough stone to where we can take a shovel and just coat the top of those 2 pipes. And then we're going to put 2 more pipes down. That's what we're doing here. The guys will take shovels, they'll move that nice and flat. They're filling in the voids on both sides of the pipe and the void inside between the 2 pipes. They're filling that in. That's going to give this structural strength. Those pillars of stone are so strong that it'll prevent the pipe from collapsing. This is a really deep trench. There's going to be a lot of weight on these pipes, so you got to really be smart about how you do this. The shallow ones that we typically build in yards, a little different story unless you're going to be driving on them. And of course, we always talk about the stone adding the structural strength to the system. When you make a connection, use one of our external couplers. Don't use an internal, use an external for this. You don't have to tape it if it's perforated pipe because you're trying to let the water into the pipe. Those have barbed clips and they hold, man. We love them. All right, I'll get some good video. You see how the guys are getting pipe? You see how the guys are getting stone on both sides of the pipe? This is going to make this nice and strong. Super important right here.
Oh yeah, he's going to play.
All right, so we're going to put some more pipe in the trench. It's 8 slot. I forgot to mention that earlier. This is all 8 slot. We're using 8 slot. The way we're packing it in the stone, it's going to be fantastic. We're going to build this in lifts. We're going to keep lifting this. We'll cut the pipe and we'll put an end plug in it. This is an end plug right here. You just cap the end of it so it don't fill with stone. Those also cap our catch basins too. Pipe creates more void than stone, guys. You have to remember that. The pipe will have this large void that moves water. If this pump ever quits, you want all this pipe in this trench because it's going to act like a reservoir. You're going to have this huge reservoir. If the power goes out, anything weird. All right, so this is the second layer. 2 pipes, stone, same exact process. We're going to have a nice vein of permeable pipe and stone. The pipe's going to give us the additional void. You're not going to get much void in this small stone, but that's okay. The small stone's going to give us the strength we need. It's going to make that pipe nice and strong, putting that small stone around it. So now the guys will add another layer of stone on top of this pipe. All right, real quick, this is our third layer. 8 slot end plugs capped off. We purposely have a big fat vein right here. We're just doing lifts. We're doing lifts. We're going to add another lift of stone. It's been a real hard job for me to film. This has been a real tough one. It's a real deep trench. It's impossible to get the camera down in this trench most of the time, and you're always in their way. But it's been a challenging one to get the footage for you guys so that we can show you what we do in a case like this. A lot of stone and pipe. Well, we must be getting somewhere because Francisco's body's actually sticking up out of the trench. So these lifts are finally adding up. We got 6 pipes in the bottom of this trench. It's pretty cool. A lot of void, a big vein. We're going to be moving all that water from underneath this pool. And like I always say, this virgin pipe that's rated to last 200 to 500 years and a vein of stone is going to last you your lifetime and your children's lifetime. If it's legacy property, you can feel confident when you're using the virgin pipe and our really commercial grade fabric. Now this here is the 4 ounce. That is a commercial 4 ounce. 4 ounce, you can shop around and look for 4 ounce and you're going to get really cheap 4 ounce. Amazon has really cheap. I'm not going to name some of the big names because I don't need to get into it with those guys, but people are selling 4 ounce that should be 2 ounce. And there's nobody regulating this, and it's just the wild, wild west. But our 4 ounce is a true commercial grade, extra heavy duty 4 ounce. It's rated to last 100 years. So everything we're doing here is going to last the homeowner their lifetime, and this could be legacy property that they hand off to one of their children. No, you guys are awesome. No, we set a goal for today. The goal is like, let's get this deep dig. Let's get, you know, that taken. Yes. So you want to pack this with small stone. You got to really be patient. You got to make sure you get small stone compacted in this area that you excavated. It's absolutely crucial to the structure of this pool. Once you get it in place, you pack it in with the shovel handle. It's a process that takes time doing these lifts. Never show this, so I'm showing it. Right here, inlet for our big sump system, chamber, added 10 feet of chamber. This is a Screaming Demon unit. Yes, we sell these fully plumbed and ready to go. Right here, split coupler for the added chamber, perforated holes on the added chamber. We went ahead, we have a split coupler for the added height. We got a sump viewer, so we could just look down inside and see what's going on. We know when the pump is running, when it's not, if there's any issues. This will also have a heater in it. On this side, it also has inlet. This is French Drain Man's Screaming Demon. We've been making these and shipping them all over the country in Canada for, since 2019. So we've got them perfected. We got several patents on these. Really nice system, beautiful system. And we're getting ready to drop this baby in the hole. We have the two bottom ones into the bottom chamber.
I need 2 pieces.
10 foot of added chamber on a Screaming Demon. Got the heater. Got the heater cord and the pump cord coming up out of here. All right, so we got 6 pipes hooked up. We got 2 in the end of the sump system. We got 2 that are going into the top of the chamber here. We got 2 more going into the top of the chamber here. I'm going to show you. These 2 go behind the shed, up to the front of the other side of the shed, down the swale, around the pool. Then we have the 2 bottom ones over here, and we're tied right into the bottom of the chamber. These 2 here are going to be for the perimeter drain. This perimeter drain goes all the way around, and it goes under the deck. It's part of the perimeter drain around the pool. Just a big job, a lot of plumbing, a lot of pipe, big system. Figured I'd show you what I could, because we're now going to fill it all in with stone. We're going to use the big stone. Always use the big stone, because if you use the little stone, it's going to get inside the sump system through those big open grates that we have. This is inch and a half round rock. You can see I got big hands, 1.5 inch round rock. We got those grates on both sides of the system. Those are big giant inlets on the side of the system. It's 96 degrees with a real feel of 102. Good times. All right, this was really deep. We got all the stone on top of the chamber. Francisco is going to hook up a solid pipe that's for the downspouts to the main riser of the sump system. This is a really big system. It's a really tall system. It's really deep. There you go. There's the downspout line. If we ever have to run a camera through it, we can. Busy. Look at this intersection, man, where all the plumbing ends up meeting. All right, so we got 8 pipes in the bottom of this trench. We got 8. We're doing another lift. All right, we're starting to pull some wire. So we run a fish tape through the electrical conduit. And then we tie a string to it, and then we pull the string through. Yeah, we got string. We're good. So now we can tie the wire and pull the wire through. So that's how that works. We got the conduit all the way. Let me show you really quick. Nickel tour, conduit, electrical conduit, right here. Our plug's going to be here. So we'll have the plug right up on this 4x4. All right, so now that all the water is out from underneath this liner, look at this liner. Look at this. None of those big, giant bubbles. I mean, there's some wrinkles, but they got to get a new liner. This liner's shot. But down here, there was so much water under this liner. It looked like the pool bottom was deformed, but we took care of that. So now they're going to get a new liner, and everything's going to be sweet. And our job is done here.
If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. It supports the channel. If you have any questions regarding this installation, leave them in the comment section. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until the next video.